Y'all, the Royal Rumble is this Saturday, and since another decade of WrestleMania is upon us, I thought I'd make a ranking list for each of those Mania's Royal Rumbles. So I have ranked each Royal Rumble show from 2014 to 2023. Each show is ranked of how good the matches were on the show, how good the Royal Rumble match was, and if the matches had the right winners, especially the Rumble. But my name is Trey Too Fly, and this is Too Fly Wrestling.
Smoking them woods till I'm flowing the galaxy, checking my lung, and that's bad for economy.
Number 10, 2022. This Rumble was absolute dog shit. Like, if you were to look up dog shit in the dictionary, Royal Rumble 2022 will pop up. Like, I shit y'all not, this was the week I decided I was going to start watching AEW weekly. It was that bad. Seth Rollins fought Roman Reigns for the Universal Championship. The match had a nice little build up and it started off really great. But the match ended with a disqualification. And you would have thought, oh, Seth Rollins not going to let this slide. He's about to get his revenge on Roman Reigns. But no. He didn't do jack shit. Damn. Then Ronda Rousey had the most laziest Royal Rumble win I've ever seen. Like, when she got in the match, it looked like she barely even tried. But at the time, it felt like a great move for WWE. But it turned out to be dog shit. Then we had Becky Lynch versus Doudrop. Do I have to say more? It'd been different if they booked Doudrop different at the time, but the match was just stupid. And then we had a dream match. Bobby Lashley versus Brock Lesnar. And maybe if they had a good feud, this match would have been good for storytelling purposes. But they didn't. Bobby Lashley got the win after Brock Lesnar got attacked by Roman Reigns. And what did Brock do about that? Oh, I don't know. Maybe just win the Royal Rumble at number 30 and then go on to win the WWE Championship at Elimination Chamber, crushing everybody who deserved a championship match just to go on and lose the championship to Roman Reigns, leaving Monday Night Raw without a championship for the next year until we bring back the World Heavyweight Championship, which is now considered a secondary championship underneath Roman Reigns because he's been so dominant. So yeah, he kind of fucked us. Overall, it had the potential to be a great pay-per-view, but WWE just soiled it. Also, Edge and Beth Phoenix fought Miz and Maurice. It was alright. But coming in at number 9, we had 2015. The best match of the night goes to Seth Rollins versus Brock Lesnar versus John Cena for the WWE Championship. And the only other good match was Damien Mizdow and The Miz versus the Usos. That match wasn't nothing special, but it was entertaining. But the rest of the card, there was nothing to talk about. The Ascension beat the New Age Outlaws, but what did that do for them? Absolutely nothing. Then the Bella Twins beat Natalya and Paige. Oh boy. And then the worst part of the night was when Roman Reigns won the Royal Rumble instead of Daniel Bryan. And not even Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson could save Roman Reigns from the crowd. People were not happy. But coming in at number 8 is the year before, 2014. The match card wasn't terrible. Bray Wyatt versus Daniel Bryan was easily the match of the night. And Randy Orton fought John Cena for the 47th time. Randy won with the help of the Wyatt family, and that helped set up for Bray Wyatt versus John Cena at WrestleMania. Those are about the only good things that happened. The rest of the card was dog shit. Brock Lesnar versus The Big Show was dog shit to begin with. And after the match, Brock Lesnar gave a beat down to Big Show, which was longer than the damn match itself. It was ass. And then Batista won the Royal Rumble. If he would have been a surprise entrant, I feel like it would have been better for him, because everybody knew he was going to win, and so nobody wanted him to win. And that was the start of Batista. But the next year wasn't as bad, because at number 7 is 2017. And it was hard ranking this one and the one coming up. But the reason this show was lower is because it barely had shit to talk about. The best match of the night was John Cena versus AJ Styles. And that's when John Cena tied Ric Flair's record for holding 16 world championships. Then Roman Reigns fought Kevin Owens with Chris Jericho in a shark cage. But it made no sense for Jericho to be in a shark cage because the match was no DQ. But the match was good. But everything else in the card was just mid. The Rumble had a lot of star power like Brock Lesnar, Goldberg, and The Undertaker, but they didn't do shit. And this was also the year that they were driving bigger wrestlers down in the ring during their entrances. But the only good thing that happened was when Randy Orton eliminated Roman Reigns and he won the Royal Rumble. Nobody, and I mean absolutely nobody, saw that shit coming. Granted, it should have been somebody who haven't won a Royal Rumble yet, cough cough, but it was a good Rumble. Coming in at number 6 is 2019. Now for this year, both Royal Rumbles had great winners. And they also had some good matches like Daniel Bryan versus AJ Styles, Sasha Banks versus Ronda Rousey, Asuka versus Becky Lynch, and Finn Balor versus Brock Lesnar. But my real problem with the show was how damn long it was. Like, god damn! They booked too many matches for this year's Rumble. And the Rumble itself is already over an hour long. And now we got 2 of them bitches plus 10 other matches? Whew! Damn! That year took some real dedication to watch, but it was a cool Rumble. Oh, also, this is the year where Scott Dawson and Razor faced Bobby Roode and Chad Gable. 2019 was a weird year. But coming in at number 5 is 2021. And due to the pandemic, this was the first Royal Rumble we had without a crowd. But WWE did a great job of what they had. Kevin Owens versus Roman Reigns in the last man standing match was the match of the night. Even if they fucked up the ending, you couldn't deny how good the rest of the match was. Then Drew McIntyre defended his championship against Goldberg. And the match wasn't too long, and it was exactly what it needed to be. And then Sasha Banks defended her championship against Carmella, and the match was not terrible. Then both of the Royal Rumbles that year were really entertaining. And they had 2 great great winners. And a hell of a lot of surprise entrances as well. The only weird thing that happened was this shit.
La 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 la, sing a happy song.
Yeah, but now I love Bad Bunny. Coming in at number 4 is 2016. WWE did a great job at booking this year's Rumble, and I don't think we talk about it enough. We started off with Dean Ambrose versus Kevin Owens in a last man standing match for the Intercontinental Championship. Then Kalisto won back his United States Championship. At this time, Kalisto was really hot with the crowd because a couple weeks ago, shockingly, he won the United States Championship. And everyone loved it because he's a really good wrestler. Then the New Day fought the Usos in one of their first in many encounters. Then Charlotte Flair defended her Divas Championship against Becky Lynch. And even after the match, Sasha Banks made a surprise return. Shit was cooking in 2016. And then it was time for the Royal Rumble. And it started off with the debut of one of the biggest free agents at that time, AJ Styles. And that man was cooking the whole match. And then this was another year where nobody wanted Roman Reigns to win the Rumble. But during the match, a lot of us was thinking, damn, this shit could happen. But then here comes number 30, Triple H. And the roof exploded. And when he eliminated Roman Reigns, oh my God, the wrestling world didn't know what to do. But the one thing WWE could have done to make this event better was let Dean Ambrose win the Royal Rumble. Then at WrestleMania, it could have been Dean Ambrose versus a championship-hungry Roman Reigns. And hell, who knows, maybe we could have turned Roman Reigns heel sooner. But this was a very solid Royal Rumble. And y'all, before we get into the top 3, if y'all made it this far into the video, it would mean the world to me if y'all hit that like button. And if y'all new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. And let me know in the comments if you guys want to see more videos like this. But coming in at number 3, 2018. This was the second Royal Rumble I ever watched on live TV. And it was a damn good show. And this was also the first year that WWE had the Women's Royal Rumble. And it didn't disappoint because they had a really good winner in Asuka. And after the match, Ronda Rousey made her WWE debut. And this was a really good thing at the time. I have nothing bad to say about Ronda Rousey's first run in WWE because I thought it was pretty good. It was just that second one we don't want to talk about. Then the Men's Royal Rumble, in my opinion, on this list, this is not number 3. This is the second best Royal Rumble because everything about it was just entertaining as hell. And at the time, WWE had a stacked roster, so we already knew it was going to be crazy. Then when we got down to the final 6, it was New Generation Finn Balor, Shinsuke Nakamura, and Roman Reigns versus Last Generation Randy Orton, a returning Rey Mysterio, and John Cena. The shit was beautiful. And Shinsuke Nakamura got the win, which was even better. Now, how they did him at WrestleMania is a different story for a different day, but the Rumble win was good nonetheless. The Rumbles for this year really carried the show because the rest of the matches were just alright. Like AJ Styles defended his WWE Championship in a handicap match against Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. And Chad Gable and Shelton Benjamin fought the Usos for the Tag Team Championships. But there were 2 matches that we could have saved for another day. And it was Seth Rollins and Jason Jordan versus The Bar, and Kane versus Brock Lesnar versus Braun Strowman. They weren't terrible, but they weren't special either. But this year's Rumbles were the reason this show got ranked so high. Then coming in at number 2 was 2023. And I know what some of y'all thinking. Trey, how was this Rumble not at number 1? And trust me, I contemplated this one for a minute. Because I was also there for my 21st birthday, and that was the best night of my life. But let me explain why this year's Rumble was number 2. First off, the Men's Rumble was amazing, and Cody Rhodes won, which was even better. But here's where my problem is. They announced that he was coming back, and then they had him come out at number 30. Like, what the fuck? If WWE would have just shut the fuck up, the moment would have been 10 times better. And that's why I ranked this year's Men's Rumble at number 3. Because it would have been better if Cody Rhodes was just a surprise entrant. Then Bray Wyatt had a match against the megastar, L.A. Knight. Yeah! And they had a pitch black match. And unfortunately, that was Bray's last televised match. But being there in person, that match was god awful. You couldn't see or hear shit. The match was just boring as hell. And even watching it back, I ain't missed shit. But then Bianca Belair had a match against Alexa Bliss, and the match was meh. And the Women's Royal Rumble was a cool match. Rhea Ripley got the win, and I think everybody was happy. But then it was time for the main event. Man, I was excited. There was nothing that could have gotten away except that bullshit. Like, I'm already tired. I want to see the main event, but then you gonna have this motherfucker come out. Like, why? I'm sorry, I had to put this comment in the video because this shit is absolutely hilarious. But then it was Roman Reigns versus Kevin Owens. It wasn't like any of their matches they had before, but for what it was cool. But the best moment of that Rumble was when Sami Zayn finally turned his back on the Bloodline. And everything about that segment was golden. I would not change how they did anything about it. But 2023's Royal Rumble was one of the best we had in a minute. But it wasn't better than number 1 on this list, and that goes to 2020. This Rumble is easily number 1, and here's why. First, Roman Reigns fought Baron Corbin in a Falls Count Anywheres match. And the match wasn't terrible. It was a really good way to start off the Rumble, actually. Then after, Charlotte Flair won the Women's Royal Rumble. And instead of challenging for the Raw or SmackDown Women's Championship, she challenged Rhea Ripley for the NXT Women's Championship. And that helped set up for their match a couple years later at WrestleMania 39. Then the next match was the only bad match of the night, and it was Bayley versus Lacey Evans. The match didn't need to happen, simple. Then the Fiend Bray Wyatt defended his Universal Championship against Daniel Bryan in a strap match. And that was one of, if not the best Fiend match we had. Then the next match match was Becky Lynch versus Asuka. And after the last year's Royal Rumble, when Becky Lynch wasn't able to beat Asuka, she came back this year and successfully defended her championship against Asuka. Like, that's storytelling right there. And then, easily one of the best Royal Rumbles we had was this year's. We started off with Brock Lesnar coming in at number 1, and he was not fucking around. He was throwing everybody out, even the surprise entrances. And even when we thought the ring was getting filled with Keith Lee and Braun Strowman, he threw them niggas out too. And it seemed that all hope was lost. Until that man Drew McIntyre came in and he Claymored Brock Lesnar's ass out of the ring. Faith had been restored. Fear was gone. And it was a new day. Yes, it is. And then the Rumble started to kick up with more people. Then one of the next participants came out and we heard a lady's voice that we haven't heard in a long time.
You think you know me?
And the wrestling world flipped upside down because this man Edge has finally made his long-awaited return. At that time, that man just retired 9 years ago from a career-ending neck injury. But despite the odds, he came back. And when I compared this to Sami Zayn turning on the Bloodline, this wins every time. Plus, we already knew that either the Bloodline was going to turn on Sami or Sami was going to turn on the Bloodline. It was just a matter of when and how. But when Edge returned, nobody saw that shit coming. Then we had a great Final Four between Edge, Randy Orton, Roman Reigns, and Drew McIntyre. And then we had the great moment of Drew McIntyre winning the Royal Rumble. And he went on the main event WrestleMania and win the WWE Championship in front of no one. And to this day, he still bitches about it. But those are my top 10 Royal Rumbles in the past 10 years. And if y'all like these type of videos, let me know in the comments because I'm about to start making longer videos for this channel. And from the bottom of my heart, y'all, thanks again for 1,000 subscribers. Y'all have no idea how grateful I am for y'all. And y'all, this is just the beginning and I can't wait to give y'all more content in the future. But stay on the lookout for more videos and I'll see y'all next time.